What's pop, and we are back for week 3 of the Shuckle Premier League after a strong first 2 weeks of the season. Today we're taking on the Don himself, Mephisto, a good friend of mine who we managed to defeat in the semifinals of the last draft league we were in. His team this season is incredible. Hisuian Samurott, perhaps one of the more annoying Pokemon for our team to deal with, since we cannot simply magic bounce his Ceaseless Edge spikes. Gotta really focus on the defog. Offensive threats like Cinderace can deter us from setting up hazards due to potential court change, so that's always there. Zapdos, a fantastic Pokemon I had on my previous draft, is on his team now, but I'm really hoping he doesn't bring it since my Thundurus is actually my last season's Zapdos turned evil, so it continues the lore. One could only hope, but he has a lot of other offensive mons like Scizor, Gengar. Passimian, which is one of his Tera captains, is a very offensive Pokemon which I expect to be either Choice Scarf, Choice Bend, or some type of setup set with Bulk Up. He's got some solid defensive options in Florges, which can provide Wish support for his team, or even Calm Mind. And Serena, which is a bulky offensive Pokemon for Rapid Spin support. I guess Dragonair and Farigiraf can be made to be bulky and do some interesting things, though I feel Passimian or Sandaconda are the likeliest Tera captains he would bring. So I started off with Manaphy. Tail Glow 3 attacks, looks really good versus his team. Surf, Ice Beam, Energy Ball pretty much covers everything. And this is a very intricate Chinese EV spread that I have here. This special attack allows us to outrun Hisuian Samurott, and the rest, you know, it kind of just speaks for itself, which I forgot what it does. But the HP defense and special defense is really nice for bulk, and the special attack actually is a good benchmark to allow you to OHKO or 2 KO pretty much everything on his team with either Surf, Ice Beam, or Energy Ball after a Tail Glow. What I really want to talk about on this Manaphy set is Custap Berry, my favorite returning berry from the DLC. This berry I loved using so much on my Pokemon, and yeah, it's just a nice berry for us to be able to get a priority move when we're at 25% HP or less. And a Pokemon like Manaphy, with base 100 stats across the board, is relatively bulky and strong, right? So naturally, we won't be able to get OHKO'd by like a lot of different kinds of moves, or even maybe 2 KO'd, and we could get into Custap Berry range after a Tail Glow, and a Pokemon like Cinderace or maybe Gengar or Passimian, something fast with Revenge knockout capabilities would want to come in after we were weakened. And if we're in Custap Berry range and Tail Glow, we can OHKO those mons. It'll be a lot of fun to hopefully try to activate. And Manaphy's debut, of course, which, you know, I brought it last week, but it didn't really get sent out onto the field, so this time I'm hoping it does. Now we have Blood Moon Ursaluna, which I really like a lot for this team in particular, especially when we're running 3 attacks Moonlight. This set here is going to be incredible for just checking a lot of things and doing a lot of damage with Blood Moon. Chople Berry is there for close combat from Passimian, Scizor, maybe like High Jump Kick or Low Kick from Cinderace, as well as Focus Blast from Gengar. And so if they try to play around our Blood Moon plus Earth Power, maybe with like Sub Zapdos or something, or just some other ways of trying to play around these two moves, we have Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice is great because it goes through Sub, it's a secondary normal stab that we have for the team, so they can't really wall us at all with this Pokemon other than like with natural walls like Florges, I guess, which could be a little bit more annoying for this set in particular, but that gives us like a switch into Goodra or Weezing or even Sneasler, for example. So we have a lot of options, and I do think that this set is really good. 84 special defense on Blood Moon allows us to sponge a Hurricane, or sorry, 2 Hurricanes I should say, from defensive Zapdos. Doesn't get 2 KO'd by that. Now we have Espeon, the MVP of last week. Gotta talk about this Pokemon, so I'm switching up the set this time. I'm not bringing the usual Stored Power Draining Kit set. I'm bringing Tera Electric Choice Scarf. This set in particular is going to be really great versus this team because, first of all, Tera Electric is, I think, really good defensively versus this team. Can't get Discharge Parrot by Zapdos. Can't get Bullet Punch destroyed by like Bandit Scizor or whatever. And it resists that, you know, that steel typing, so that's always good. I do think that Tera Electric Tera Blast is great versus mons like Hisuian Samurott. It's a good stab move versus all kinds of things. And Psychic Psyshock. I have both of these because Psychic hits mons like Cinderace and Passimian a lot harder naturally, while Psyshock is great for mons like Calm Mind Florges, which has a pretty bad defense, so Psyshock will do a lot of damage. We have Trick to kind of cripple a mon, maybe lock it into a move, do some fun stuff with that. Now, I think that with Choice Scarf will be great to outrun most, if not all of his team. However, I'm only running enough for max speed Hisuian Samurott in case he does run max speed on that. I don't think he'll bring Scarf Gengar to this matchup. It doesn't I mean, it looks okay, but not that great when I have a Blood Moon to switch in every time. He has to make the Focus Blast call. I think that, yeah, this set here is really good in particular, just to check a lot of the threats he has on his team. Anything that's like Scarf Passimian, Scarf Hisuian Samurott, Scarf Serena, anything below those, it can do really well against. Naturally outrunning Samurott and Zapdos and stuff is pretty useful. And yeah, nice magic bounce for anything that's not Ceaseless Edge, because we can't bounce back those. Can't do anything about that other than defog. But now I want to talk about a really cool set. Gooey Dragonfang Hisuian Goodra. This set's really cool because with Dragonfang we get powered up in Dragon Pulse and Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail I have as an emergency option for dangerous setup sweepers like Farigiraf, Dragonair and stuff like that, or even, I don't know, just stuff like that. Dragon Pulse, very hard hitting move. Flamethrower is great versus Scizor, Flash Cannon for other stuff like Florges and things like that. But it's interesting because with 48 speed, if we get Bullet Punched by Scizor, drop their speed faster than max speed Jolly Scizor, and Oko with Flamethrower. This is also useful versus Hisuian Samurott, which may not run a lot of speed. If they decide to Ceaseless Edge, we can Gooey them and then Dragon Pulse for a 2-hit KO. Just slowing things down like Cinderace, maybe the Passimian, or the Serena, I think is going to be really useful. And so this is another set that I wanted to bring. Galarian Weezing I think was mandatory for this one because I need defog. I can't magic bounce stuff aggressively, so other than Sandaconda, Glare, and Rock, so I have to bring defog for the Hisuian Samurott spikes. Rocky Helmet, super useful for chip damage, and yeah, these 3 attacks I think are the best for it. Sludge Bomb for potential poison, Clear Smog for setup, and Flamethrower for Scizor, plus defog. Nice mixed defensive EV spread. And finally, I have Sneasler, which I think is useful for the team, just natural speed. I have Espeon, which is really fast, Manaphy, which is decently fast, Sneasler, which is super fast naturally, and I actually noticed you got Lash Out now. You don't have to run Night Slash, you can run Lash Out, which is almost a guaranteed Oko on Gengar. I think it is pretty close, like a very good chance of Okoing from full. Protective Pads for the static on Zapdos, Poison Touch to spread poisons, good U-turn momentum, and the classic Dire Claw close combat. But that's going to be the team. Hope you all are excited for the game starting soon. We'll cue into it whenever it begins, but subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It only takes a second for a lifetime of heat. With that being said, looking forward to the game, and I'll cue into the battle. Alright, the battle is here for the Dawn versus the Lord. This will certainly be a challenging game for us, I have no doubt about it. I'm sure he'll be out to get revenge after we knocked him out of semifinals of the last draft league, but hopefully the team we are bringing will guide us to victory as well as the power of the Blood Moon. But yeah, I had pretty mixed results while testing for this matchup, so just gotta hope he brings the right 6 Mons for the best possible outcome for us. And we found him, so let's see what he's bringing. Ooh, very hype. Alright, so he's got the Florges, Hisuian Samurott, Serena, Scizor, Cinderace, and Passimian. No Zapdos. Ooh, okay, so that was something that was kind of annoying, but he didn't bring that. Of course, Hisuian Samurott's here, which definitely gave the most trouble while testing because of spikes and stuff like that, but interesting. Okay, so I do think Sneasler is kind of my best lead here, right? If he leads Hisuian Samurott, we can U-turn. If he leads Cinderace, we can U-turn. I don't think those Mons are going to be choice Scarf. If he leads with Passimian or Serena, I think those might be choice Scarf. And those are what I think his potential leads are. Now, I have to be careful for potential Scarfers because some of them have good coverage. Like if it's Serena, we're going to switch out immediately because of Zen Headbutt potentially. And if it's Passimian, his Tera types could be Tera Ground, which is the one Tera that I faced the most while testing. So I definitely think that Mon we have to be worried about somewhat depending on the set. But let's see what happens. I'm very excited for this game. Alright, so he decides to challenge us. May or may not be his first mistake. We'll find out. And he leads off with Florges. Florges lead's interesting. Florges lead is interesting. On the topic of Choice Scarf, what if this thing is Choice Scarf Psychic? That would be scary. I would not want to stay in on this. It could also be a Poison Resist Berry, but I think my best play is going Gudra. I don't want to stay in on this Mon. I think he might have Psychic, so just to play it safe, you know, I want to at least have a safe turn 1, not lose my Sneasler immediately on a Florges lead, which is very unusual. Psychic, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Little pat on the back for myself. Nice. So if I think he's Choice Scarf, there's an interesting play I could make. I could click Dragon Pulse here. Dragon Pulse would be a really fire turn 2 play if he switches out. And if he's actually Choice Scarf like I'm thinking he might be, to outrun my Sneasler, I think he might switch out here. I look silly if he doesn't, but it's worth it. I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. Please switch out. Yes, he does! Ooh! I'm making the plays right now. What's that? Hisuian Samurott? Go ahead and take this nice Dragon Fang Dragon Pulse. Boosted. That Mon took it pretty well though. That Mon actually took it really well. So, leads me to believe that this thing is in fact Assault Vest. AV. Chinese EV spread I'm not sure, but it sponged it pretty comfortably. So, I could go into Wheezing, but I think I might just stay in. Because if I stay in and he attacks me with Ceaseless Edge, he gets Gooey on him, and I might be faster afterwards. Yeah, there's Ceaseless Edge, nice. Because that thing is really bulky, right? So I feel like we'll be able to be faster on the next turn and just knock this out immediately. Yeah, it puts it in range. Now, do I want to go Wheezing for Rocky Helmet Chip? That's an option. Or instead of just getting unnecessary damage, I could just Dragon Pulse. I don't think a Sucker Punch, if he has it, would knock us out. I don't think it would. I don't even know if he'd go for Sucker Punch, or even if he has it. Let's see what happens. Nice. No Sucker Punch, and we knock out Hisuian Samurott. Only one spike on the field, so we should be able to defog pretty easily. I guess we kind of have to worry about the Defiant Passimian. Passimian can get a +2 attack boost on my defog, so gotta watch out for that. However, he can't set up hazards anymore. There's no Pokemon that can set them up, no Rocker or anything that he brought. So that should be good. Now I'm curious what he wants to go into here. Very curious. I would assume Cinderace, if it has the right coverage or whatever, could come out here. Honestly, a lot of things could come out here. He's taking a while to think about it though, so I don't know what he's planning. I don't know what he's cooking right now, but now I'm very intrigued what he's trying to do. Literally any Mon could come out and try to revenge. It's gonna be Serena, so we could assume that Serena is going to go for either high jump kick or low kick or something like that, some fighting coverage. So we're gonna switch out of here into Galarian Wheezing. Give it some nice Rocky Helmet Chip. The Great High Esteem. And he goes for the Zen Headbutt. Ah, so he was cooking. He was trying to predict my Galarian Weezing switch with one of his Mons. And he did that immaculately. So we could just defog here, get rid of the spike. All I gotta hope is not to get flinched by the Zen. And remove these spikes. Any kind of chip on the Serena will be great because it puts it more in range of Manaphy's Ice Beam or any of our other Mons like the Sneasler and stuff like that, but he goes Passimian. So Passimian's gonna get a +2 Defiant boost on my defog, which is a little scary, but I don't think Passimian has what it needs to knock out my Weezing. I'm not sure if it can or not. It does have Iron Head, but I think I could probably clear Smog anyways. Like, I have no switches to this Mon, and I don't want to try to switch into it, so I think Clear Smog's the play. Remove the stat boost and stuff like that, and I should live in Iron Head too. Goes for Rock Slide. Ah, okay. And flinches me. Okay. Wonderful. So, yeah, that's a little annoying. I got flinched by the Rock Slide. And he's still at +2, so It's not even worth for me like trying to play around and switch around and stuff like that. Like I don't even know what set he could be on this mon. Don't have a lot of information about his item. It could be Choice Scarf, but it also could be not locked in, so I don't want to take a close combat on anything. Like, I don't know if I could pivot out of this mon. I could try to clear Smog again. I don't really need Wheezing a lot, so I don't really need Wheezing much. Yeah, I'm gonna clear Smog again. And pray. Ooh, Rock Slide miss. Okay, well, that cancels it out. That's beautiful. Okay, so Rock Slide flinch into Rock Slide miss. As if no hacks happened. Beautiful. I'll take that. I will gladly take that. I think I could go... You know, a Rock Slide after the Clear Smog removes its stat boosts isn't gonna knock me out. I could just Sludge Bomb here for damage. Like, whatever he brings in, we'll take damage. This mon's gonna be the Cinderace. Okay. So nice Sludge Bomb coming out here. Potential poison as well, right? 30% chance to poison. So, my worst fear on Cinderace is if it's like a Swords Dance set. A Swords Dance set would be pretty scary. But I've already gotten enough damage on it. So you can only get a max of 1. And yeah, it's going to be Swords Dance. Okay, cool. That was like the worst case scenario set that I was hoping I wouldn't face. But yeah, it's there. Swords Dance, Cinderace. The good thing is that he's a normal type. But the bad news is that I did face a set while testing that had Double Edge and Quick Attack. So if it's that set, then a little scary. But at this point, I mean, Cinderace is severely weakened, and I should probably just be able to sack right here. I guess in hindsight, I probably should have spammed Clear Smog, but it could have also been banded. Nice Rocky Helmet and Recoil. Puts it down super low. I don't think it knocks it out. Yeah, ooh, so close. Ah, almost knocked it out from the Recoil. Yeah, that's a little tricky. So I guess, what's my best option to revenge this with? Not Manaphy because I'm slower, not Ursaluna because it's not nice to take a +2 double edge from a normal type Cinderace now. Espeon's faster, I have defensive EVs. I think Espeon's my play. Sneasler is also another option, but I think maybe keeping Sneasler healthier might be good. It's either keeping Sneasler or Espeon as healthy as possible. Where I think for this matchup, I don't know really. I could go Espeon. Just show off my Tera real quick. I feel like Sneasler takes a lot from a +2 quick attack. Yeah, I think we just Tera Blast. Should be good. Maybe he... Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe he doesn't expect Scarf and doesn't go for quick attack. If it's Sucker Punch, though, I also live it, but quick attack, I'll sponge as well. Somewhat sponge. But yeah, this was literally a set that I prepped for with Emil, so... Like this exact Cinderace set. Yeah, quick attack. Yep, exactly. And we live. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we eliminate the Cinderace. That's a pretty good mon to eliminate, I must say. Because that mon was giving me all sorts of trouble while testing. Ah, nice. And the first time I'm bringing Tera Electric Espeon, which I think is really cool. See, I was actually tempted to switch my Tera type for this captain from Electric to Ghost. But I think Electric is just good overall. Doesn't make me weak to Sucker Punch either. Even though I would have been immune to Quick Attack. And he would have prepped around it too, but... Versus Serena, we can go into Goodra. Hisui and Goodra will give it the Gooey, so it'll slow down Serena pretty nicely. So this should be cool. Goodra come through. Goes for Rapid Spin. Ah, okay. So it's gonna get a speed boost and a speed reduction. So it's back at neutral. This means I could probably just Flamethrower. I probably am not gonna be faster than this Pokemon. And he does have low kick, okay, that's fine. So now his speed gets lowered once more. This I think is fine. I don't believe I needed Goodra for much else. Versus the Scizor might have been nice, but I feel like we have other ways of dealing with it. Feel like the best play is probably to go Sneasler and just U-turn out. Can't go Manaphy, can't go Ursaluna. And Espeon probably does not knock it out from the range it's at. Yeah, Espeon does not. Psychic Psyshock does not do enough to this Mon, so from the range of HP it's at, so I think Sneasler's the play. Go, my big nugget. Make them flee. Yeah, we turn out here. You turn out the play, I think. We don't Dire Claw ever in case he goes Scizor. And I would assume Scizor comes out here. I guess close combating could have been a play too. No, close combating would never be a play here. We did get some good information from this Serena set because him switching up from Rapid Spin to Low Kick means he's not Choice Scarf, which means he could be AV potentially. Okay, nice. So Scizor comes in, and I think this is an opportunity to bring in Custap Berry Manaphy, I think is what we do, right? Like, Ursaluna is a pretty good option, but I think this is the only opportunity we'll get to bring Manaphy into the light. Because versus Florges and Passimian, it's going to be really difficult to set up a Tail Glow. Although this item is not leftovers. What if it's Choice Band U-turn? That would be tough because I really want a Tail Glow here if he just hard switches out. But if he, because like he has to be U-turn, right? It could also be like some kind of a Swords set, but if it's like U-turn, I don't want him to like U-turn out into Passimian and Tera and knock me out. Because banded U-turn would do a lot. And this could be banded. This could very well be banded. Ah, he hard switches out. Okay, I should have Tail Glowed for sure. I really thought he'd be like a strong U-turn. Because if I Tail Glow and he just U-turns into like something else, I'm in a bad position. That could be faster, right? That doesn't do bad damage at all. Actually, Ice Beam's gonna do a lot. I think actually Ice Beam might knock it out. Maybe not, but it'll put it close. Like, it's not worth switching out right now. I could go hard into Sneasler, but he might just predict that. Trop Kick does not knock me out from this range. If he's Trop Kick, he doesn't knock out Ursaluna and a lot of stuff, but Power Whip does, but he might Power Whip miss. It's Yashi Berry, okay. So now we know the item. Ooh, okay. What does he go for? Okay, oh, Rapid Spin, okay. So not bad. He wants a speed boost. That kind of covers any of my switch-ins, right? Because he'd get a speed boost and then be faster on the next turn. So I guess we're gonna have to do we have to go up a Power Whip miss? Or maybe it's Trop Kick. Trop Kick won't knock me out though if he is that and he wants to actually be 100% accurate, but Power Whip might miss. It does Oko me though. Manaphy I don't really need. I could always revenge this with Espeon because Espeon can outrun every other Mon on his team right now. Every other Mon it can outrun. Passimian Choice Scarf, Florges Choice Scarf, this +1. It can outrun all of them. So I'm gonna Ice Beam. It is Power Whip. And it misses! Ooh! Yo, we got the power of the Blood Moon. Evil Emvee plot armor. Yo, that's crazy. That's actually insane. Yo, he must be so upset. He's gotta be upset, right? He's got to. Oh, I gotta see his side after this. Oh, I gotta like, he's gonna send me a message. He's gonna be like, yo, you're so lucky. Oh. That's the power of Evil Emvee. Yo, regular Emvee would not have gotten that. Evil Emvee though? Evil Emvee gets this. Gets the luck, gets the fortune. Nice Power Whip miss. Just another day, you know, just another day for the Evil Emvee. For the Evil Lord. Now he brings in Passimian. Should be an easy surf, but let me think. I think we can surf. Because if he close combats, he destroys himself. What's the Tera gonna be? Let's find out. Let's find out. What is it gonna be? Oh, Tera fighting. Okay, shoot. I don't know if I can live this. Don't know if I can live this. But I have my Chinese EV spread on this thing. I have some bulk. Can I live? Close combat comes out. Okay, this is gonna do a lot. 3% or 3 HP. Not even 3%. That's like 1%. That's 3 HP. Nice surf coming through. Knocks out the Passimian. Oh, and that puts us in Custap berry range. Yo, Manaphy's going crazy. Prince of the Sea, Prince of the Heat, Prince of the Blood Moon. That's the Blood Moon Prince right here. Wow, okay. This is going way better than I expected. This is going way better than I expected. Wow, okay. So, I definitely got fortunate on the Power Whip miss, for sure. Would have been a completely different game than now. I'm just destroying with this Manaphy here. However, I am Evil Emvee after all. So, with that being said, we must accept these turns of events. We must. Oh, it's Florges. We get some chip on this now. Because of the Custap, we get some chip. I could Ice Beam for freeze, but I think just getting more damage, as much damage as possible, is the play. Imagine if I Ice Beam here and just freeze this thing. But I think Surf damage is just better. As much damage as possible, then we go Blood Moon. We click Blood Moon and try to do as much as we can. Yeah, because he still has Scizor and this Mon left. And he chose to go this Mon over Scizor. So I get my Custap activation, I get to show it off. Little Surf come through. Ah, that's a nice chip. That's beautiful chip. And there's a Psychic. So he should be locked into Psychic here. So my play right now is to go into Blood Moon, I think is my play. Espeon can't... I don't think Espeon can knock it out from this range. It might be able to with Psyshock, but I don't feel like doing the calc or taking the risk. I'm going to go Blood Moon here, which... if he stays in, he should die. If he doesn't... I don't know if it actually dies. It has good SPF, but it won't do much back to me, I don't think. Switches out. Okay, cool. So, a Blood Moon into an Earth Power should be a 2-hit KO. There's Scizor. We get the Blood Moon going. Yeah, Earth Power is an easy knockout from here. If he's close combat, I have my Chople Berry on this thing. Yep, we have our berry intact. So we get to show off our Resist Berry. That's definitely banded. No, that's a crit. Okay, so that is a critical hit. Which is fine because we should be still out of range of a Moonblast. So yeah, Scizor goes down. That's beautiful. So it could have been maybe a Swords Dance Scizor or something. It could have been some kind of an offensive Scizor, but we took the hit pretty well, even with a crit through Chople. And now we Blood Moon. And I think we should always win this game, assuming we live this hit. If we don't, it's going to be a little trickier. Actually, he's probably forced to Psychic. Yeah, I figured as much. He might be forced to Psychic. So yeah, that's... I guess he could have Moonblasted because Moonblast, I mean, it's not going to knock out Sneasler, but it'll do a lot. But now it's in range of a Psyshock from Espeon. A Psychic or a Psyshock. And this should wrap up week 3. Nice Espeon coming through. I really wanted to switch up the set this time because I feel like after the first 2 times I'm using the stored power Espeon, people would start preparing for it. So now I brought Toy Scarf, which ended up working really well. Super clutch in the end game because I needed it for outrunning Choice Scarf Florges, which is beautiful. Beautiful animation there from the Psyshock, and that is going to be the game. Mephisto, now you're probably mad about the Power Whip miss, but I just gotta say, look, if I was regular Emvee, I'd apologize for the miss, you know, as a courtesy. But since I'm evil Emvee this season, what I really have to say is, GG, it's Emvee. Nice clean game with no hacks. Okay, jokes aside, definitely though, check out Mephisto. He's my boy. I can't wait to see how angry he is on his side. I think the only play I'd go back and change on my end is to Tail Glow with Manaphy versus Scizor, which kind of came down to knowledge of what set he is. You know, if I did, I'm almost certain Serena probably couldn't survive even through the Yachi Berry. After Tail Glow with the range of HP was that, I'm not sure if it could survive. But that was the only uncertainty I had, whether he was going to do like a strong U-turn into another Pokemon to revenge, or whether he was going to just hard switch out and give me a free Tail Glow. And I felt, you know, it was just better getting damage on the Scizor for the long run, for putting it in range of like close combat from Sneasler or just Earth Power from Blood Moon. And that puts us at 3-0 in the league. Really feeling this team so far. I love the amount of options we have for it. Hope you all are enjoying as much as I am. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean a lot on our journey to 100K. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.